Welcome back to Who's to Know. Tonight for dinner, we're going to be making breakfast. One of my favorite things to make for dinner is actually breakfast, because in the morning, oftentimes, you're rushed and you don't have time to fully enjoy the breakfast spread that can be made. So having it for dinner is a nice way to kind of get that when you're not rushed in the morning to, say, get out the door to go to work or get the kids to school. So we like to make breakfast for dinner. Some good friends of mine actually did this quite often, and they called it Brinner. Breakfast, dinner, Brinner. And what I usually like to make when I make breakfast for dinner is chocolate chip pancakes, so I'm going to show you how to do that. And usually I like to balance that carb with a protein of some sort. So I'll either make some eggs, or I'll fry some Spam, or I'll do some bacon. I actually have all of those on hand. Probably won't do the eggs, but I'm going to slice up a few pieces of Spam and fry that in a little pan, and that'll be how I kind of balance out the carbs. So let's get started. So for the pancake mix, what I like to use, off-brand buttermilk. Usually make the smallest batch of it with 1 cup of the mix and 2/3 cup of water, and that is going to make about 6 to 7 pancakes. Same concept here applies that you have with flour, that you want to spoon in any kind of mix like this and not scoop it directly from here, because it will get compacted and it won't give you you'll end up getting more than the recipe really calls for. So that's 1/3 cup, so we've just leveled this off just like that so I don't get actually more mix than it calls for. So that's 1 cup of the mix, and now we are going to get 2/3 of a cup of water. For this, I like to actually use bottled water because it could affect the taste of the pancakes, but tap water is also just fine. It does call for cold, not hot water. We're going to turn our pan up to about medium and let that go ahead and start getting going. We're going to mix this together. Place mix and water in bowl, stir until large lumps break up. So the key with this is to not over mix it. So you can see most of the large clumps are broken up, and it's actually started to kind of bubble here. That's what we want to see. So now we're just going to wait for our pan to get heated up. While our pan is heating up, we'll actually go ahead and get our Spam ready. So this is what Spam looks like if you never got it from the can. You do want to be careful about this. It's very sharp. So from there you can just actually kind of squeeze it just like this, and usually it just comes right out. There we go. And it'll just slide out just like that. So what I usually like to do is cut about a 1/4 inch slice, just like this, when I'm going to fry it. And we'll just cook up a couple of pieces of this, and then we'll also do a couple pieces. Okay, so I've got my Spam here. I'm just gonna take and cut about a 1/4 inch slice, just like that. And another one. And that's all I'll probably just have these 2 pieces for today. Okay, now that we've got everything, smoking a little bit. So one thing about the pancakes is you want to be sure that you don't get your pan too hot, because it will burn that first couple ones that you put down on there. So we'll turn that down just a little. All right, now that our pan is ready to go, the trick we'll actually do is just sprinkle some bits of water on there, and once it sizzles, the pan is ready. So we'll just kind of dab it out like that, our first pancake. And then we'll go ahead and put our chocolate chips in. And I usually like to keep them spread out for the most part. And I find that about 5 seems to be the good number. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this chopstick to press the chocolate chips into the batter, so that when we go to flip it, they won't get burned on the other side. And if your pan has gotten too hot, you'll wanna check them immediately before you get it ready. Usually what I try to do is I try to alternate them so that I'm not trying to do the same thing to each pancake at the time. So once I flip this one, I'll pour a new one. So this one's ready to flip, so we're just gonna flip it quick, just like that. And it came out pretty nice and golden. So while that's doing that, I'm gonna pour another one on this side. And then I'm gonna put my chocolate chips in. I'm gonna push them down. And usually by that time, this other one will be ready to go. It can have a couple more minutes, that's fine. I'm gonna get my little egg pan right here and put it on this back burner and turn it on just a little bit to get ready for the, I'll put the Spam in that when it's ready. So while this one's going now, I got this one off. I'm gonna put some butter on it. Oh, that was a lot. I'll put some butter on it, and then once all the pancakes are done, I'm gonna put this tray actually in the oven that's preheated just to warm to about 250 so that the pancakes don't get cold while anything else that I might be making, whether, say I was gonna make eggs after I made these pancakes and I wanted to keep them warm, I just put them in the oven at like 250. So that one's ready, so we'll go ahead, we'll butter that one, and then we'll be ready to pour some more batter. If you get those little pieces like that, the little strings, you can just take those off with your spatula. Might want to turn that down just a little bit. I can feel it's kind of getting hot again. So we'll move kind of quick. Yeah, that one's ready already. So you can see we're kind of getting our heat too hot over here. Kind of flip that right in the middle too, so it really can't fit another. We've got one piece of our Spam back there on the back, and that'll just go ahead and start. That'll go ahead and start to fry up. If you're feeling confident, you could go ahead and pour two at the same time. Might get one more out of that. And I like to use the jumbo semi-sweet morsels for this, just because it gives you more chocolate. That Spam back there is starting to fry up. You can hear it sizzle. Oh, they're ready. Woo! So at the end, sometimes if the pan is already hot, you gotta move quick. This made about 5 pancakes. There's a little bit more batter left in here. It'll be a pretty small one, the last one. So it all just depends on how big you like your pancakes. Sometimes I make really big ones. Sometimes I make little ones. Yeah, those are good. We'll go ahead and butter these last ones that just came out. Get our butter dish off. And then we'll just go ahead and put these in the oven to keep them warm while we're waiting for that Spam. The oven's just at about 250 to keep those warm while we're working on the rest of our Brinner. So our Spam's frying up back here in this other pan. You can see it's starting to get kind of that look to it. That means it's frying up. Once it starts to get fried, you'll kind of smell a slight ham smell, because Spam, after all, does stand for spiced ham. So it will start to smell a little bit like a ham. All right, the Spam has started to pop a little bit, so we'll go ahead and take it out. So I've put my 2 pieces of Spam in there with my pancakes at the 250 oven to keep warm, while next I make some eggs. These two. Now we're gonna make some eggs. You can make eggs any way you like. I don't prefer scrambled eggs, so what I'm gonna actually do is fry the eggs a little bit, kind of medium over hard. So get a nice pat of butter in there. I'm gonna crack it slowly into the pan. Keep the white kind of contained. And then what you can also do is just kind of take your spatula, just kind of do like this with it. And if it runs, it's fine. You can always just kind of flip those edges back like that. Then I'm just going to put some salt and pepper. We'll just keep making sure that now that this edge is kind of set up, it won't run anymore. And once you're satisfied with how this yolk looks, then you can go ahead and flip it. And if you flip it very gently, you can actually get the yolk to not break. We'll go ahead and flip these very gently. Turn it over just like that. You might be able to get it. Just ever so gently. It won't be too much long now, so you can actually go ahead, turn the heat off, and actually remove these from the heat, and the yolk will continue to set up just fine off heat. While these eggs continue to finish, I'm gonna get out our pancakes and plate up the pancakes and the Spam. And you can't forget the syrup. All right, and there we have it. So we have our chocolate chip pancakes, we have a fried egg, and 2 fried pieces of Spam. What I love about breakfast for dinner is that there's many options you could do. I do pancakes and Spam and a fried egg because that's what I really like. But you could also do waffles, you could do a breakfast casserole, you could make a breakfast quiche, you could do French toast. Say you don't want to eat any of this and you want to do omelets with some onions in there or some peppers, like a Southwest omelet with salsa on top. There's many options that you could even do with eggs and omelets. You could do poached eggs on toast. You could do eggs in a basket, which is where you have a piece of toast, you cut it out and you do an egg in there. That's not my specialty, so that's not what I did today. Also do hash browns. You could also do just regular fried, you could also just do regular fried potatoes. We didn't even bring potatoes into this situation, but potatoes is one of the best things to have for breakfast for dinner. So let me know what your thoughts are and what you like to make for breakfast for dinner in the comments below. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.